story of love and betrayal.
What am I doing to you?
Just stay the hell away from me!
You're going to burn in hell, Maria.
Perdóname! Barkeep, shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you.
Enough!
Hey!
We need to pull it together. There's something out there.
Who are you? What are you doing? I'm warning you, I've got a gun!
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Filmspiration. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button as well as that little bell. That way you're notified next time I make a new video. Everyone, I got a special treat for you guys. We have Sean BERUBE and also David Jones from the feature film A Cry in the Night. Feature, right, guys?
That is true, full-length feature, hour and a half.
Oh, cool. So if you guys can just go ahead and, for those of us out there in Filmspiration land who are not familiar with you guys or not familiar as much, go ahead and give us a little intro, who you guys are, your guys' role in the production, and we'll just jump into it afterwards.
Go ahead, Sean.
All right, guys, my name is Sean BERUBE. I'm an actor here in Tucson, Arizona, soon to be moving to California, though. I got into acting in the end of 2018. It's a second career for me. I started as a military policeman in the Army, and then the city of Tucson, and then the Air Force. And I just retired after 26 years from the city of Tucson's police department. So now I can pursue acting full time. And this film that we're going to be talking about that's premiering on 4 September was the first film I participated in my acting career. And maybe it's just because I was around a bunch of awesome people, but I fell in love with acting. And now I'm going to pursue it full time.
Perfect. Well, Sean, thank you so much for all of your years in the service and in all of your various aspects of service. Wow, 26 police. That's pretty awesome. David, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on your action too, David. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. I am the director of A Cry in the Night. So I was involved from the inception of the idea. Joe Canoyer, who is my partner with Dark Legends Productions, actually wrote the screenplay for it. We started casting and location scouting, I believe, in late 2017. And we filmed all the way through towards the end of 2019. And then I also handled all of the post-production, so all of the edit, all of the sound mixing, all of the audio layering and everything else that goes into making a film. And got to meet Sean, and he was invited to audition for our film. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not an actor." And they told him to come on down and give it a try. And we gave him a primary role. We had no idea he hadn't acted before. And he knocked it out of the park, in our opinion.
Yeah, and so and sometimes we've all heard the stories of where basically, because somebody is fresh at acting, that's actually to the benefit of the process of making the character come to life, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then he dug right in with the difficulties of it, camping in the cold, and you know, it was a down and dirty production all the way through, and he was a trooper.
Sweet. And Sean, I want to ask you more about that with regards to how your police training and law enforcement training in general served you on the production. So just to jump into it, gentlemen, so A Cry in the Night, talk to me about the film, you know, without giving away any secrets that we should not be hearing about. What is the movie about? How did it all come about? The concept, the origin, etc.
It's A Cry in the Night, a La Llorona story. So it's based around the La Llorona legend, which is a Southwest America, Arizona type legend. And it basically, the movie takes you, there's a young group of campers, they go camping, they get together, some weird guy shows up, kind of tells them they shouldn't be camping. The movie goes back in time and you get to meet Maria, who then you find out how she ends up becoming this La Llorona, and then the story ensues, and people die, and it's very, very sad.
So
I love the way that was wrapped up with a bow right at the very end, dude.
that's perfect timing, the premiere, just to get everybody warmed up for Halloween.
Yeah, you know that. So the premiere is actually something I want to talk to you guys about coming up pretty soon, also. But what were some of the biggest challenges with regards to, you know, from beginning to till now? Was it budget? Was it David? You were mentioning off camera camping. I mean, can we call this a guerrilla film or a micro budget independent film? Because I mean, you know, as we know, like depending on where it falls will determine, like, you know, how nitty and gritty we all have to get with our productions, or how luxurious of a process it can be. So it can fall anywhere, right?
Yeah, this absolutely qualifies as a micro budget film. Way back during the reads, after we had selected cast, I let everybody know this is a chance. We have a chance to pull off a high quality movie that doesn't look like a small indie production for micro budget costing, and that was because everybody donated all of their time. Props and set dressing was another company that donated their time. We had locations that donated their location to us for this film. The town of Winkleman gave us permission to shoot on their public property. You know, so we didn't have a whole lot of overhead because everybody was in to help us, and that was all Arizona, you know, film community wanting to make this movie and to help us out in doing it. And that's how we ended up with. When you do see it, hopefully you'll agree it's a polished look. It's a real look. It's a quality film for what we did. I think the final budget, now that the numbers are all in, we did this film for less than $7,000.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. That's it's quite a feat, but at the same time not impossible. And you guys are like sheer proof of that, as we've been hearing throughout the years, of how much is possible with very little money. Not that we always want to work with very little money, but you know what I mean? Like, you got to do what you got to do, given the resources. With regards to community coming together, Winkleman, the town of Winkleman, and you know, basically everyone who gave of their talents pro bono. What does that say to the desire to just jump in and do something as a filmmaking community when you see people hungry to get something going and off the ground?
This area is huge right now with a film underground, I call it. It doesn't seem underground to me because I'm in and amongst it and I'm observing it all the time, but there is a tremendous amount of talent in the area, both on camera, off camera, behind the scenes, production level, special effects stuff. There's some people in town that are doing incredible work. And it's just not hitting the mainstream, I guess. I enjoy seeing it, and I'm hoping that we can get some of these bigger features like what we've done here to catch a little bit of traction and start, you know, peeling the eyes of California in our direction a little bit. Take a look at what we're doing over here and start getting some of that business going here.
It's still very refreshing to hear, though, that, like, I mean, like you said, here in Tucson, in Southern Arizona, just in general, I think we have so much talent with so many areas and so many facets with regards to the filmmaking process, or, you know, actors, writers, directors, producers, etc. Like, I think Facebook and social media has definitely helped us self-organize and self-mobilize into, you know, just basically little camps to then run out and do our thing a whole lot more. But, you know, there's no lack of talent here in Southern Arizona, right?
Absolutely not. I mean, look at Sean. He's exploding right now. He's in absolutely everything, moving to California. So, but that's the thing, is he's going to be going to California. We're going to be losing having a Sean BERUBE in our backyard.
You don't lose me. I still come back. I already got projects lined up here in Arizona. So even though I'll be in California now, it'll be traveling here instead of traveling to LA, but I'm still available.
Sean,
All
talk to me
right.
a little bit about that with regards to films like A Cry in the Night, because um, if the work is going on in California, I guess, then you'll be there if offered, right? But at the same time, um, I don't get the feeling that you're the type of guy who would stay away from Tucson. You know what I mean? After this is basically your home and whatnot, and so I could totally see you coming back and saying like, heck yeah, I'll jump into this production if you're sought out, right? Because there is something to be said for the indie hustle here in Tucson.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even though we're leaving, we still have my wife's mom's property here because her family is from Mexico. My wife's from Mexico,
Mhm.
and they have a home here in Tucson. And we'll be going back and forth. It's going to be a frequent thing because obviously we got twin babies that are turning one tomorrow. And
Congratulations.
thanks. And they
Congratulations.
obviously want to be, the family all wants to be included with the babies grown up. So there's
Yeah.
still going to be a lot of travel going back and forth for that kind of stuff. And like I said, for any movie projects that come up. But we're still growing here in Tucson and in Arizona to
Yeah.
chase the work, to try to do it full time. The best choice right now is to go out to LA. That's where my manager is. That's where my agent is. And obviously that's where Hollywood is. So
Yeah.
as soon as this COVID's over and Hollywood reopens, I have a feeling it's going to explode. There's going to be so much work. It's going to be crazy once they have the abilities. It's just going to open the floodgates. And I'm looking forward to Tucson and Arizona to continue doing what they're doing. There's a lot of great filmmakers out here. I've worked with Dave, obviously, Dark Legend Productions. Wait till you see the movie; it's amazing. I got a couple future projects coming. One up in Phoenix called The Dark Side of Opulent 3, from George Nima up there, another filmmaker, independent. This Antonoy McCoy, she's doing the New World Order movie up in Phoenix. Gary Sachs, he's doing a movie called Old Nevada. I mean, there's just so many projects going on. I got finished doing a project out in Safford, Arizona, right? I've never been to Safford, so I drove out there and I was like, what is this? I mean, it's a whole other world out there. It was so cool to be out there and shoot a movie and see their landscape out there. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a whole nother world away from Tucson and the big city life. And their project is looking amazing. The director is cool. He sends us unlisted links to edited scenes so we can see how it's coming along, and it's coming along so just amazing. So it's amazing to see all these people come together with no budget, low budget, communities coming together, actors, people providing the services with food, transportation, locations, advertising for us. It's just amazing to see everybody come together because there is this group that wants Arizona to take off in the movie biz,
Yeah.
but we need so many more people to get on board. We need politicians and lawmakers to get on board, give these filmmakers incentives to come out here. Like Albuquerque before COVID was just on fire, and Santa Fe, New Mexico. New Mexico was on fire because, oh my God, when I went there for a couple of projects, you got like lawmakers giving Netflix huge tax breaks, but Netflix promised in the agreement to do like $400 million a year in new projects. So if they give the tax incentives, it would definitely bring people out here.
There's a lot of potential here in the Southwest, and I've always seen it personally. Like now, as far as the business aspect of it, the money that goes into it, or also legislation, that's a whole other world that I'm definitely not a part of. But I can definitely speak to like money as it pertains to my productions and whatnot. But with A Cry in the Night, what were some of the challenges that you gentlemen and the rest of the cast and the crew faced? Because you guys actually did like actual camping to shoot a lot of the scenes, right? Like
Yeah,
so, but that couldn't have been easy, right?
I'll touch base on the camping scenes, and I'll let Dave tell you about all the challenges with the Western scenes. Oh my goodness. And let me tell you, I'm sure Dave will touch on this. They have this like little Western village. It looks so real, hidden within the city. on the south side of town. I'll let Dave touch on that. But on the modern day scenes, yeah, Dave's like, hey guys, so yeah, we got basically the town of Winkleman. And I'm like, Winkleman, where the heck is that? So he's like, but we're gonna have to go out there and camp. So I was like, all right. So we go out there and we do our first weekend, and Dave was very efficient and smart about it. He chose holiday weekends so we could get the most bang for our buck.
Yeah.
So, and I feel for you, Dave, trying to round up all the actors and crew to go out there at the same time and camp and do that is really difficult. And some of the challenges with that is some of our cast, because of the holiday weekend, couldn't make it out on time and came later. So we had to get creative of how we shoot the scenes without that character and then get the character in the scene. So you almost had to tweak the script a little bit to make it fit for when this actor came on scene and arrived. And then, of course, you try to put the crew together, and you get I don't know, just say 7 people say, yeah, we'll come out and help. And then when it all hits the ground, there's like 3 people. So you got people playing director, you got people playing sound guy, you got people playing craft services. So the challenges of trying to do many people's work with very little people was crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Sean. It sounds like it goes back to, you know, the common adage, you know, doing a lot with a little. And Dave, with regards to like Winkleman, for example, like why Winkleman? I've seen it on maps. I've not been there. But why Winkleman? And, you know, how were they responsive, and how good of a feeling was that, you know, when people were like, yeah, we'll help you out. We'll help you out to get this done and going.
So I don't want to give too much of the movie away, but we needed a location that had water, that had space for camping,
Gotcha.
that was isolated and remote, yet had access to services, meaning we had a cast of 8 that needed to be there for 3 to 4 days for each camping outing. We had to provide food for them. We had to have space for them to stay that was not in the actual set. So it required, you know, an investment of space. We hogged up a big chunk of real estate while we were doing it.
Yeah.
And Winkleman was okay with that. And they gave us a break on doing it. They didn't charge us any money. When you watch the credits, there's credits. We name dropped Winkleman for that. And that's what they asked for. And that's all they asked for.
Wow.
So that's what we did. We went and we had our breakfast there. We did all of our shopping there, you know, so they got their little local money for it.
Yeah.
It was definitely challenging. So we didn't, when you're shooting a film, you have a schedule and you have a shot list and you have all of the things and you have an idea of how things are going to go. But then it goes sideways. People don't show, things don't happen. The biggest challenge I think that there was to the whole thing was that we weren't able to shoot it all in the 3 to 4 days that we needed because of delays, because people didn't show, because scenes had to be bumped. So we had to go back a second time. It was 9 months later, Sean, something like that, we had to go back 9 months after we shot initially, make the place look like it did the first time around.
Oh, wow.
Put all of our equipment and tents back in the same exact positions, and then continue reshooting and filling in scenes and making that work in post in 2 different seasons in Arizona. That was the #1 biggest challenge for the modern sequence, as we refer to it, in A Cry in the Night.
Yeah, Mother Nature was not our friend.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I don't
what months did you guys shoot? Because they sound like cold months.
We shot over, was it Thanksgiving for the first shoot?
Yeah, the first one was Thanksgiving weekend, and then I want to say it was end of January for the next one.
Yeah, it was end of January for the next one, and that was the first one, and so it was more than 9 months. It was over. No,
just a few months. It was about
just a few months, just a few months.
Yeah, because you guys didn't want to wait too long because cast members were trying to keep the same look for continuity.
Gotcha.
That's right. Yep, that's right. Yeah.
And gentlemen, so when does the, or I'm sorry, David, what I cut you off, brother. What were you saying?
Just keeping, everybody had to have the same clothes. Everybody had to have the same haircut. We had to go back with all of everything. All of the sleeping bags had to be in the same spot. All of the camping stuff, the tables, the knickknacks, it all had to be all the same stuff. And it was just us doing it. It was
real
us.
hard for me to keep the same hairstyle.
Yeah, you and me both, brother.
Sean, did you go to a half? How dare you?
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, so gentlemen, just to close out on the film itself, when can we see the movie? I understand there's going to be a premiere coming up in early September, and when and where can people see the movie? And then, of course, Sean, you sent me that link. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the description of all of the videos below. But yeah, when can we see the movie, gentlemen?
We are premiering A Cry in the Night on YouTube in lieu of any local show. We were previously going to show it at the Loft, and of course we were postponed due to COVID. So we're doing it on YouTube September 4th, 6 p.m. It will run as a premiere. So if you join late, it will be like you walked into the theater late, but it will be viewable through the same link through the entire Labor Day weekend. So September 4th, Friday, 6 p.m. YouTube. You can find the link at Dark Legends Productions on Facebook. We've also got a link up for a website. I'm sure we'll make that available to you here too.
Awesome, gentlemen. And so as we near the date, go ahead and give me a reminder nudge, and I'll go ahead and put out an additional announcement on, all my Filmspiration episodes and whatnot, just to make sure that I'm doing my part to make sure that it stays fresh on people's minds. Gentlemen, thank you so much for talking on A Cry in the Night. I really appreciate it. And like I said, all the links that you guys want to share with the world, of course, the premiere link, I will have in the description of the video, and basically all the videos that we put out. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Edgar. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you, Sean.
Yeah, thanks, Edgar.